Hello everybody, this is an update and a discussion on ROH pay-per-views. I recently read a bulletin. I haven't confirmed it for myself. I tried to, but I haven't been able to right now. So, I'm sorry I can't, but I will try to confirm it for myself before I talk. I wanted to confirm it for myself before I spoke about it, but it seems I can't, so I'll just have to assume that it is correct. Just from a pretty reliable source or user, but he did say supposedly from Meltzer. But I haven't been able to find anything on it from the Wrestling Observer newsletter or Figure 4 Weekly Online. They haven't said anything about it, so it's pretty strange. Anyway, onto the competition update. I'm up to 153, which is nice, but there's one user who subscribed to me 4 or 5 times, obviously with the intention of getting up to 250 quicker, and then, I don't know if he intends to. I don't think he would intend to put his name in the hat 5 times, because you have to give me your address and email if you want to. If you don't give me the address is something I need just to confirm things. Email you don't have to, I guess, but your name I need that. So yeah, but this person has done it, so obviously, and because there's 4 or 5 fake accounts, or four fake accounts, I think, there would be less people in the competition now. This person knows who he is, and I'm asking him to please unsubscribe those other channels to me, or I'm not going to do it myself, because I'm not going to punish any of the other users who want into the competition legitimately, by upping the number to 255, because that's a really shitty thing to do. Though I am tempted to do it if they if they're not removed, but or I might just not put your name in the hat if you request for it to be put in the hat, because I know who you are. Anyway, back onto things. ROH's pay-per-view deal is apparently a failure, and this was something I was going to do a video about months ago, but I was on hiatus. This was when they'd gotten a pay-per-view deal, but I never did a video on it. And this was, a lot of people think that ECW was hurt by pay-per-view and television, but what really hurt them was the talent cost, because when you're on pay-per-view and when you're on television, all of a sudden WWE, all the big companies, want that talent, and ROH is an independent promotion that can't pay its talent as much, so they have to pay it. They do have to pay them more, to stop other companies from coming after it, which is the real problem. And that's what I was going to do a video about. And if they got into television, they'd have to start paying the talent a lot more, because that means they're getting even more exposure than it would be on pay-per-view. Sorry, I'm just mumbling a little bit. So yeah, that's the big problem, and also it means the wrestlers are also in more demand now from both independent scenes, and Japan, especially Noah, because Noah and Ring of Honor have a working contract, and they'd have to fly the guys back over from Japan, so they are going to start cutting costs, because the buy rates or the intention was to get DVD sales up enough to cover those costs, of the talent, the wage increase of their talent, and also the flying the wrestlers around. They thought that would be covered by the increased DVD sales. Of course, DVD sales haven't increased as much as they wanted them to, so they're having to just not bring guys in for every show, which will hurt the product a bit. But as Gabe Sapolsky said, ROH is about creating new talent. Hopefully it'll give some other guys more of a chance to shine. I think it will, but one of my problems is they do have a lot of stables and things like that, and let's take the No Resilience no Remorse Corp call. You might have, Roderick Strong away for one thing, so you have Davey Richards and Rocky Romero, but then you might get Roderick Strong back, and Davey Richards might be over in Japan, so it will hurt the stables as well. So, and stables or factions are a big part of Ring of Honor's product, so it will hurt them in that respect. But were the pay-per-views a real failure in terms of were they an epic failure like Brock Lesnar attempting to do a shooting star press? No, because I think the problem would be because Ring of Honor has a conservative business model, and if you study business or something like that, or you've ever thought about doing business, when you take a leap and you're getting more exposure, you'd expect to be making an even larger profit. Now, obviously, with pay-per-view now and paying talent more, the profit margin has gone down, which is bad because if there are people who they want to get to invest or sponsor them, or release their DVDs commercially, and they show that they've been making less money since they've gone on to a television or pay-per-view deal or something, that isn't good, because then they'll just assume that you're just not ready, or as a company you're not ready. So it is a failure, but it's not a massive one, because they were. I know a lot of people who got into ROH because of the pay-per-views, because they heard of the pay-per-view deals, and it also has gotten them more attention on wrestling news websites, which is a good thing because it does mean they get more exposure. Of course, how much money they're making hasn't been reflecting on that exposure, so it is a failure. But so they're really so cutting costs is an unfortunate thing, an unfortunate outcome. I am disappointed by that, but that's life. Because it is such a good product, and I'm disappointed when they don't when it doesn't achieve its potential. And it's the same thing with TNA in some aspects. They are a good. When they do put on a good product, it doesn't make a lot of money. Like the Global Impact show, I watched that, and it was good for a TNA thing, good for a TNA event. Well, it was TNA / New Japan, so it was going to be better than anything TNA had done before. Of course, it was also New Japan's lowest attendance at a dome show, which really sucks because it deserved more than the second lowest, which was 28,000. They only got 27,000 at the TNA New Japan dome show, so it really shows that it was really a disappointment for me, because I would have liked to have seen TNA actually being a bit more of a success, and also with their increased amount of house shows. I often read how they're getting low attendance numbers, and that disappoints me because doing house shows is the right thing to do. But then when I heard about them doing house shows in Canada, and them getting high attendances, I was pleased, because house shows are really something they need to do, and it obviously is coming with benefits. Anyway, I'm about done for now. I will talk to you guys later. I'll probably be back in a couple of days with a CZW review. I've already recorded it. I just want to put it up later. So like an ROH pay-per-view.